Hi, this is Brian Pasch, and this is a video update to accompany the first in a series of articles on automotive CDP vendors. Let's do a little history lesson. In the 80s, dealers had their DMS. It was their single source of truth, but that platform never was designed for marketing or one-to-one communications or keeping customer household data up to date. In the 90s, the boom of the internet and internet leads required a new technology platform to handle one-to-one communications. CRMs were a huge improvement to customer communication and exporting data for marketing campaigns. In the 2000s, dealers have accumulated 15 plus different software applications, each with their own silo of customer data, often not communicating with each other. Today, the DMS and CRM needs a new technology partner, and that's the customer data platform. By definition, the customer data platform collects and unifies first-party data from multiple sources into a single complete view of each customer. The debate right now in automotive technology is, are platforms which are being called CDPs really creating a real-time unified customer record, or are they just glorified marketing automation platforms? Identity resolution is not new to automotive, but back in vogue because now dealers can track the identity of consumers coming to their website, try to match them up to the CDP to activate more communications to existing customers or prospects. As CDPs are sold to dealers, this idea of a unified customer profile made up of different elements. Each CDP is collecting pieces of the customer data. More advanced ones are open, so all pieces of the customer journey that could be connected are, and it's typically being sold as, hey, you can create real-time marketing automation audiences, you can send out one-to-one personal communications, and also trigger events into a call center for outreach over the phone. This is what's sold, but in reality, there's still many challenges. Identity resolution in this example, if all of the tools on the dealer's website are using the CDP's identity tag, every time a customer comes and uses a tool, they can identify existing customers or prospects, send that signal into the CDP, and then the CDP can send a lead or through an API update a customer record for outreach, also in real time, putting those customers in new marketing audiences. This is working well today, and Aharon Horowitz from FullPath coined the term data ups, and that's exactly what it is, an opportunity to generate more sales opportunities for dealers. But as we dig in to the current state of CDPs, there's still some big challenges. Let me explain. I work with dealer groups where all of their online tools are connected to a unified identity resolution and CDP tag. And as consumers use service schedulers or DR tools or trade tools, those events are sent into the CDP to update the customer record. Now, depending on what CDP platform the dealer has, data hygiene should be part of that process. Getting all phone calls into the CDP so you know when was the last time you spoke with a customer, getting demographics or credit or buyer propensity scores into the CDP, having available inventory and OEM incentives and data all in the CDP will vary based on the technology platform. But ideally, the CDP should have all the customer transactional data and all consumer enhancement data to have a full picture of the customer. What's working pretty well is the marketing aspects of a CDP. Real-time audiences allow dealers to pick agencies who can leverage real-time audiences on Facebook or Instagram, Google Display, OTT or CTV. That's working pretty well. What's not working so well is bi-directional feedback into the CDP. You see, most CRMs today have no integration with the customer data platform. Now, there are a few, but for the most part, the CDP is in its own island. The CRM is used to looking at DMS data or its own data for insights. And that bi-directional API, that's really what's needed to have full functionality of the first-party data in the dealer's primary communication tool. What else is not working so well? Well, email platforms or texting platforms outside the CRM, well, they need to be able to not only accept audiences for activation, but they need to send back opt-out. If someone opts out of a third-party texting platform, that needs to get into the CDP, and then the big challenge is, where do you keep the master opt-in and out? See, today, most texting and emailing are going through the CRM, and CRMs have opt-in and opt-out functionality. But when dealers say, I want to use a third-party mailing platform or a third-party texting program, well, there's some gaps and liability concerns if the CDP doesn't have a master opt-in and opt-out that captures all communication channels. And then business intelligence and AI tools. Again, we have things called equity mining tools and AI tools. Having those tools access the CDP and not the DMS are still a challenge because a lot of these platforms were built to work off of dirty DMS data. At a very basic form, a CDP with data hygiene and marketing automation is taking signals from the DMS, but the CRM and the CDP today, for the most part, are completely disconnected. And then all the other tools that the dealers are using typically are still looking at or relying on the DMS or CRM because there haven't been a clear winner in the early game of the CDPs, and tech companies don't want to waste development resources. One of the products I'll be highlighting today in my LinkedIn newsletter is a product from the team at Gubagoo with 4 key principles in mind. Brad Title and the team at Gubagoo and the Greater Reynolds organization have put together something quite interesting. The idea here is that what if you could connect all of the tools? What if you could create a curated experience so that all of the tools can see that unified customer profile? The CRM knows all marketing, all communications, and can even suggest next communication strategies, the wording, the offers, based on the complete unified customer record. When you see how Curator is integrating the Focus CRM with the full path CDP and bringing all that data together, it's really a breakthrough approach. Instead of building a CDP, they're building off a proven automotive CDP and providing the most valuable piece with the connection of all the tools. It's true, the CDP has extreme benefits for marketing and unification of customer data. But if all of the tools that the dealers use can't leverage this data, then we have some gaps and some opportunities for companies to reimagine what a go-forward strategy looks like. And that's what Curator has done. The team at Gubagoo and Reynolds have taken a different approach. Don't build the CDP. The value is in connecting all of the rich tools that Reynolds and Gubagoo have corporately and leverage true business intelligence and business activation when data is all together. I encourage you to scan the QR code or go to LinkedIn and read my article about Curator, which is the first in a series of articles on the current state of first-party data management in automotive retail. I welcome your feedback on the article.